This Camaro was so powerful, they didn't want you to know it even existed. And with only 19 ever made, you've probably never even heard of it. But why would GM keep a car like this hidden? This is the story of the 1981 Yenko Turbo Z Camaro, GM's secret turbocharged muscle car they didn't want you to see. The Z28 badge on a Camaro is one of the most famous symbols in American car history. Over the years, this badge has appeared on many different Camaro models, each with its own unique legacy. But not all Z28s were created equal when it came to performance. The second-generation Camaro Z28s, produced from 1970 to 1981, are some of the most beloved, but by the time 1981 rolled around, the Z28 Camaro, once a symbol of American muscle, had lost much of its power. The golden era of muscle cars was fading, as stricter emissions rules and fuel shortages made automakers focus more on efficiency than performance. But where did that leave car lovers who missed the thrill of real power? This is where Don Yenko stepped in, a name known for high-performance American cars. Yenko and his dealership, Yenko Chevrolet in Pennsylvania, had already made a big name by turning GM vehicles into true speed machines. Whether it was a Corvair, Nova, Camaro, or Vega, Yenko's cars were more than just cars. They were icons of speed and style. In 1981, even as GM and other automakers cut back on performance, people still wanted fast, powerful cars. But with GM offering only a 175 horsepower engine for the Z28, Yenko knew that wasn't enough for real performance fans. So, what did Yenko do to keep the muscle car spirit alive? Yenko turned to turbocharging, a technology that was becoming more popular in the car world. While GM had tried turbocharged engines in models like the Buick V6 and the Pontiac V8 in the Turbo Trans Am, Yenko saw its true potential. Turbochargers could boost power without needing bigger, gas-guzzling engines. Could this be the solution to the decline in performance? Well, Yenko certainly thought so. Turbocharging became the perfect way to bring back the power that car lovers missed. And thus, the 1981 Yenko Turbo Z Camaro was born. A car that not only kept the muscle car spirit alive, but took it to a new level. But just how powerful was it? And why did it stay so hidden? Well, keep watching to find out. Yenko's idea for a turbocharged Camaro became real with help from Turbo International, a well-known turbocharger company. But what was the goal? Well, Yenko wanted to bring back the lost power of the Z28 without giving up the reliability and easy driving that buyers expected. The result? The 1981 Yenko Turbo Z, a car that combined the classic Camaro style with the power of turbocharging. How did the Turbo Z get its power? It used a blow-through turbocharger setup that pushed air directly into the carburetor. This method may have been simpler than the fuel injection systems in newer cars, but it worked. The Turbo Z ran on 7 pounds of boost and didn't use a wastegate, which usually controls boost pressure. Instead, it relied on its low compression ratio of 8.2 to 1 to handle the extra pressure, making it a great choice for turbocharging. But how much power did it really have? While Yenko never officially announced the Turbo Z's horsepower, experts estimate roughly that it would have produced between 250 and 300 horsepower. This was a big jump from the stock Z28's 175 horsepower, and brought the Turbo Z closer to the power levels of the 1970 model. The Turbo Z could finish the quarter mile in just 14.5 seconds, a full 2 seconds faster than the Pontiac Turbo Trans Am, which managed in the high 16 to low 17 second range. What made the Stage 2 Turbo Z special? Its exterior had a revised and lengthened front fascia that gave the car a more aggressive, turbocharged look, very much in line with the 1980s style. Inside, the Stage 2 model had upgraded leather seats, a sportier steering wheel, stiffer stabilizer bars, Goodyear wingfoot tires, and a revamped gauge cluster. Koni shocks and gold strand brushings were also added to the chassis, making the Stage 2 stand out not just from the Stage 1 model, but from any other Camaro on the road. But how did the Turbo Z compare to other cars of its time? The Yenko Turbo Z was a standout. Its estimated 250 to 300 horsepower put it ahead of rivals like the Pontiac Turbo Trans Am, which produced only 210 horsepower. The Turbo Z's ability to cover the quarter mile in 14.5 seconds showed just how effective its turbocharging setup was, making it one of the fastest cars of its era. Now, I hear some of you asking, well, but if the Turbo Z was so great, why is it so rare? Well, despite its performance, the Yenko Turbo Z was rare back then and remains so today. Only 19 units were ever made, making it one of the rarest Camaros ever built. The high cost was a major reason for this. A Stage 1 Turbo Z was priced at around $11,000, while the Stage 2 model cost a whopping $17,500. In comparison, a base model Z28 cost around $8,000, making the Turbo Z a tough sell for many buyers. Essentially, buyers were paying more for the modifications than for the car itself, which limited its appeal. What adds to the Turbo Z's mystique? Well, it was the last Camaro ever built by Don Yenko himself. Just a year after the Turbo Z was released, Yenko Chevrolet closed its doors in 1982, marking the end of an era. Today, the Turbo Z is a collector's dream, with only a few of these rare cars known to exist. Some Turbo Zs are still unaccounted for, so could there still be a few of these incredible machines out there, waiting to be found? It's certainly possible. Did the story of the Yenko Turbo Z end with its limited production? Not at all. Even though Yenko Chevrolet closed in 1982, the Yenko name lived on. So what happened to the Yenko legacy? In 2009, General Motors recognized the value of reviving the iconic Yenko brand. They acquired the rights to the Yenko name, understanding its significance in American car history. Instead of producing the new Yenko cars directly, GM supported specialty vehicle engineering in creating modern Yenko badged vehicles. What did this revival lead to? One of the most exciting outcomes was the 2010 Yenko Camaro prototype, unveiled at the 2009 Las Vegas SEMA show. Although this prototype didn't go into full production, it paved the way for something even bigger: the 2016 Yenko 427 Camaro. How did it measure up to the original Yenkos? The 427 Camaro was a true successor, boasting a natural aspirated engine that delivered a massive 700 horsepower. This was a huge jump from the 300 horsepower of the 1981 Turbo Z, and even more powerful than the 455 horses of the base Camaro SS that it was based on. Why are these new Yenkos so special? To maintain the exclusive limited edition appeal that Yenko cars were known for, only 50 units of the 2016 Yenko 427 Camaro were ever made. Today, these cars are highly prized by collectors and car enthusiasts, carrying on Yenko's legacy of performance and exclusivity. And that's the story of the 1981 Yenko Turbo Z Camaro, a hidden gem in the muscle car world that GM kept under wraps. These Turbo Zs are a unique mix of creativity, power, and rarity, making them an important part of American performance car history. If you enjoyed learning about this rare and innovative Yenko Turbo Z, please give this video a like and share it with other car lovers. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on our next deep dive into the world's most interesting cars. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep the passion for cars alive!